Alright, now I'm back and I have the gauges. So this is like what, the 5th video or something like that on the flammable gas. Installing the EnviroSafe with propane, butane. So here's our suction line temperature. I'm taking it at this point because when I put my suction line temperature clamp over here, I have convection heat from this hot air that's like 140, 160 degrees is blowing over my probe right here. And I have the exhaust manifold direct radiant heat onto my probe. So when my probe is attached over there, the suction line temperature is 57 degrees. It's not 57 degrees. That's the radiant heat and the convection heat that is affecting my probe. By my probe being in the wrong location, you'd have to wrap insulation around it, put some shiny tin foil on it with the shiny reflecting out, because you have radiant heat coming up from the exhaust manifold when you hook up to the suction line coming out of the evaporator, and you have this really fast moving convection heat that is flowing over your probe, giving you wrong information. So this is like what I see when there was a panel by this well-known, supposed or well-respected society of air conditioning guys who were displaying some data at a meeting, convention, and they had some uninclusive, non-consensus information they couldn't come up with that they were putting up there, and some of it they thought they knew what they were doing, and they put the data up on the board, and all I can do is shake my head and cry that somebody we trust puts this kind of data up as fact, when in fact the only fact was they didn't know what they were doing. And I happened to be at a table with 2 other HVAC, and they were ex-refrigeration guys who own companies. One was from Iran and another guy was from China, and we were sitting at the same table, and as they were giving this luncheon talk, talking about what they found about fill charges and a topic that I made a video about this certain entity that put out this data. All 3 of us, we were just shaking our heads in disbelief of how little they know. And we knew what the problems were they were having, but they had no clues other than say, oh, we didn't know why we were getting this inconclusive readings. And they just put it up there as some fact. But unfortunately, they had not a clue what they were doing, but yet these are the guys we go to get information. I don't know, it was one of those walk away and cry situations. Pretty embarrassing too, but it is what it is. So right now, everything I have a mixed gas. Now you see I have it on R290. Here, let me switch over to R600. Okay, so let's get down to R600. There we're at 601, 600A. Okay, R600. Now I'm at R600. This is what it looks like using the software in there for R600. I don't pay attention to these. Now, one thing that is wrong that I would change, this receiver dryer is so big. This receiver dryer was meant for a large quantity of liquid refrigerant. Because we're using a propane butane mixture or either or, we have a very little quantity of refrigerant. So you do not need a dryer this big and round. The more round you go, the more refrigerant you need to fill it up, so you get liquid coming out here. So what the problem is this is too big of a dryer, especially wide-wise. You just need a little narrow dryer, a little small one with a pickup tube in the bottom, so you could get pure liquid refrigerant without vapor. So I would take, say if I took the same dryer, I would only make the dryer about 1 inch round. That's it. Maybe same as long, and have your dip tube going all the way in the bottom, but by decreasing the diameter of your dryer down to say 1 inch, your fluid level, instead of being way down here like this at the very bottom, because you're using a fluid, a hydrocarbon that doesn't take up the same mass of a volume of R134 or R12, what happens is the pickup straw is picking up vapor in the top part. So by decreasing the circumference, you would raise the level of refrigerant way up high, so you wouldn't have all air bubbles feeding your expansion device. When you meter air bubbles like that, you are not getting your full cooling potential. Which right now, it's coming out 44 degrees out the dash. It's 53 degrees outside, and in the shop, because of the heat of the motor and everything, my thermistor right there is reading 65 degrees. So this is a non-scientific, half-assed, throw it together, put in some flammable refrigerant and see what it does. And this is the result. And I don't know why. Let me see if I can kick this engine down. Let's get some idle speed pressure temperatures. Idle is not efficient. There we go. Good old carburetor days. And so here we're back at idle speed now. See, that's climbing up because the compressor is not working efficiently. For the bubble boys, we got plenty of bubbles. Alright guys, I'll see you later. I gotta get to work. This was just for fun and experimentation. And see if again I'm gonna go back to R134 instead of this flammable refrigerant. I'll see you guys later.